What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone, to all my subscribers, to all my followers on all social media. Happy New Year to all you guys. I appreciate the support that you show me on all platforms, Facebook, Instagram. Guys, in my banner, you'd be able to see all my social media platforms. So if you haven't joined my other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, message me and I'll send you they're in the banner anyway. You should see it on my banner. You'll be able to see the follow my Instagram, follow my Twitter, give me a follow on Twitter. All my videos are on there as well. So if you, the more you're following me on all my social media, the more chance you have to, you see my videos, because obviously I'm always posting on either on Instagram or things. So then you can go on YouTube. So that's why I'm saying follow me on all my social media platforms, because if you miss it on YouTube, if you're just on YouTube and you don't see on YouTube, you might be on Twitter and you'll be like, oh, Imran's posted, let me go and watch it. Do you see what I'm saying? So I feel like the more you follow me, the more chance you'll see my videos, and you won't miss a video. So yeah, follow me on all my social media platforms. Have a great look. What I'll say is that firstly, look to have a great 2022. Look to stay safe. We're still in some sort of a pandemic, and wear your masks and do all the right stuff and all of that. All of that stuff. Make sure you keep yourself safe. Keep yourself protected. Yeah, and keep watching Imran Mir TV, of course, because you guys know that this has become part of your life now, and just like it's become part of my life. You know what? It becomes crazy. When you start watching people, like I used to be like that back in the day when I used to watch certain people, not so much in boxing, but other stuff. You become addicted to it, like either with just wildlife documentaries or boxing or anything. You become addicted to certain channel. You like the way that the person presents. You start having an attachment with the person. And I feel like 2021 was kind of a big year, because I feel like 2021 was a breakthrough year for me. And let me explain a few things before we get into this video. I started Facebook. I started my own group. I actually started it a year ago. It's crazy because I remember last year, because we were actually in a lockdown, I actually started the group when we were in a lockdown. I think so. When we were in lockdown, I started the Facebook group. Now my Facebook group almost has 60,000 members. Which has helped. And then I post in other groups as well, my videos, and it's really helped. And I didn't really, when I first started YouTube like 3-4 years ago, I didn't really know all of this stuff. So I'm thinking, if I was doing all of that stuff from like the get-go, imagine like these 3-4 years, I would have been so much more productive. I would have had my videos out to so many different things. But you live and you learn. And now I feel like I'm on all social media. I've got over 3,000 followers on Instagram. And this is why I'm saying, if you haven't followed me on my Instagram, follow me there. I think I've got like 750, not that many followers on Twitter, but follow me on my Twitter, grow my Twitter as well, because like I said, all my videos are on my Twitter page. So for example, like when I upload a video, what I do is I share it to Twitter, so all the people there can click on the video and watch my video. So if you're following me on Twitter, you'll be able to see the video. If for example, you haven't got a notification on YouTube. So I feel like I'm trying to grow not just a channel, but a brand. I'm trying to make Imran Mir TV a brand and grow that way. We will hopefully try to do a live stream tomorrow. And that's another thing I think unique about my channel. And the reason why I'm talking about it, because we are in a new year and I wanted to let you guys know about all the new things that I'm doing. But for me, the live streams have really helped massively, because I just feel like the live streams are growing. People love the live streams. People enjoy them. A lot of people come on. You actually get to see who's watching your channel, how many people are actually watching, because sometimes 1,000 views don't seem like a lot of views, but when you think about how many people are watching it, 1,000 people, so when you get 1,000 views, that's probably maybe 600-700 people watching, possibly. Maybe it's 1,000 people watching, but what that tells me is that tells me a lot of people are watching. Of course, I want my views to go up more and more and more and get to 2, 3, 4, 5 per video, but it all takes time. You know, and I feel like that I've seen growth. The reason why I'm optimistic, and sometimes you do get frustrated because you want you to grow quick, but I have seen growth. I've seen organic growth, which is thank you. I have to thank you guys for that, because I will say this year that I've got, I had a lot of subscribers, but I feel like a lot of my subscribers early on weren't exactly hardcore boxing fans. You guys are hardcore boxing fans. Hence why my views for everything has increased. You know, before I used to get a lot of views for Pacquiao and then Canelo, but now my views for everything is increased because a lot of you guys want to listen to everything I want to say because you're hardcore boxing fans. It's not just Canelo, it's not just Pacquiao, you want to hear about everything. What's going on, Dillian White, Tyson Fury. And I've seen the growth. So I want to thank you all for it. And that's why the live streams, I like to discuss everything. I like to talk about everything. You know, even if we start talking off about Canelo, I like to discuss everything in the live stream because just talk about the whole thing. That's why when someone comes, I'll be like, what do you want to talk about? You know, rather than asking, because sometimes we've discussed everything and then someone comes on or Ray comes on and I'll be like, okay, let's talk about, you know, let's talk about something different. But yeah, I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. And I know this has been long. It's probably going to be a long video. But what I wanted to talk about in this video is Canelo and Usyk. Eddie Reynoso has come out and said there's no way Canelo Alvarez is fighting Oleksandr Uysk. It's just not happening. A lot of people have reacted to that. And I have seen certain people react to that. And I'm not going to take names. I'm not going to take names of, you know, people have told me about, you know, there's channels out there that like to criticize Canelo and stuff. And I have seen people's reaction, people saying that Canelo's not taking that fight, he's ducking and this, that, and the other. I've seen on Facebook people say, oh, well, there's another guy that Canelo's not going to fight, he's ducking and this, that. And then someone made a point earlier on in a video that I uploaded yesterday. And he said Canelo fighting Usyk is almost unfair. Canelo started off at 140 pounds. And Salman made a great point where Canelo started off at 140 pounds. Oleksandr Usyk started off as a cruiserweight and is a heavyweight unified champion. But yet Canelo's so great is that people now are actually expecting him, saying that because his trainer is saying that he's not going to fight Usyk, that's considered Canelo's afraid of fighting a real fighter. That is crazy, the fact that people would say that. The fact that when you look to put somebody down or you look to bring somebody down, it's absolutely ridiculous. That's embarrassing. Think about it. To say that Canelo would be ducking Oleksandr Usyk because his trainers come out and said that's not a realistic fight. You know, Canelo's a great fighter and he is one of the best in the world. There's no doubt about it, but he's not a Superman. You know, he hasn't got 4 arms. He's got 2 arms. He hasn't got 4 legs. He's got 2 legs. You know, he is a great boxer, but he is only a human being. You know, he's not Superman. And to ask him to fight Usyk, when I said that he'd fight Usyk, what I meant by that is Canelo might do that at the end of his career to be great, to show, you know what, even if I was to lose, I'm at the end of my career, it's not going to hurt my legacy. But if Canelo has no ambition or Canelo doesn't want to fight Usyk, I haven't got a problem with that. Because I know Canelo would just be daring to be great. You could arguably say him fighting Beterbiev is him daring to be great. Fighting Usyk is not realistic because let's be brutally honest, it's not the fight he's going to win. Like, I know some people said that he's not going to beat Oleksandr Usyk. It's too much of a weight difference. It's too much of a weight gap. It's unfair on Canelo. It is unfair, you know. If he wants to do it, like, of course, Usyk would take it because Usyk knows that this is a small guy. It's a massive payday, you know, against a very small guy. So Usyk's going to say, yeah, I'll fight Canelo. Of course he's going to say that. Like, imagine the payday that comes with Canelo. Imagine how big that fight would be. Imagine how big that fight would be. Of course he's going to want that payday. Of course Usyk's going to want to fight Canelo. Come on, let's be realistic. Of course he's going to want that fight. but it's not a realistic fight. It's not a fight that can happen, really. It would be a fight where Canelo would just be doing something really crazy. It's not realistic, guys. It's not. I'm just being brutally honest. You know, I'm one of the most brutally honest people. If you're saying Canelo Alvarez, you're having a go at Canelo Alvarez for not fighting Oleksandr Usyk, then you don't like Canelo Alvarez. Simple as that. You want him to lose. You want him to lose. Because it's not a fair fight. It's not a fight where it makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Because for me, he can't win that fight. It's just like, I can't see it. Usyk is so tough. He's not just, like, Usyk is really tough. He's very skilled. He's bigger. He's got longer arms. He's got everything. It's just a crazy fight. And, like, Beterbiev is a dangerous fight. Beterbiev's not an easy fight. That's a hard fight. He could lose that one. Usyk is a monster. Like, Usyk is like 3-4 inches taller than Beterbiev. Bigger, stronger. You know, and people say Usyk will knock Canelo out. I don't think he knocks Canelo out. But I think it would be quite a comfortable wide points decision. I feel like Canelo's not Superman, man. Canelo's not Superman. Asking him to do crazy things just because you want to see him lose and saying that he's ducking him. Oh, well, he's ducking Andre, ducking Charlo, ducking Benavidez. Look, now he's ducking Usyk. That's just... You're just trying to hate on the guy. Just be honest with yourself. You're just trying to put him down. You don't like him. You're trying to put him down. Because there's no... You know, for me, when I think about it, Canelo's a super middleweight. And Usyk's a unified heavyweight champion. People keep saying about Roy Jones moving up to fight heavyweight. Roy Jones fought John Ruiz, who wasn't really a top heavyweight, right? Like, John Ruiz isn't Usyk. Usyk is far better fighter than John Ruiz. And here's another thing. Roy Jones was a lot bigger than Canelo. Roy Jones was taller. He was bigger. Body-wise, he was a big guy, Roy Jones. Have you seen some of Roy Jones' pictures? He's a massive guy. Even though Canelo's not small. He's massive, but he's not that big. You know, when you start comparing him to some of the modern-day cruiserweights. Back then, the heavyweights weren't as big. Yeah, there was one giant in Valuev who was bigger than them all. But the modern day heavyweights and cruiserweights are a lot bigger. You know, there's some big guys. You know, Lawrence Okoli, 6'5". Brady, what is he, 6'4". These and big guys, man. They're huge men. They're huge men. These are probably guys that walk around at 215, 220. They're that big. You know, some of these guys are... Some of them probably struggle to make 200 pounds. It's not easy. Like Lawrence Okoli, God knows how he makes 200 pounds. What I'm saying to you guys is even Usyk's not a small cruiserweight, it's a massive cruiserweight. Saying to you guys is that I think some people just, like I said, like Canelo comes out and says something that I'm not going to fight Usyk, or his trainer comes out and says not going to fight Usyk, and people kind of cling on to that and try to make out like this guy's some kind of cherry picker and he's not going to fight Usyk when it's unrealistic. It's because you want to see him lose. You know, Canelo's not beating Usyk, right? I wouldn't pick him to beat Usyk at all. I would pick Usyk by a landslide, right? And that's the only reason. If you were to say that a guy that's at heavyweight and a guy that's just finished at 168 or become undisputed at 168, you want him to fight the unified... Just think about it. You want to see the undisputed 168-pounder to fight the unified heavyweight champion, even if they meet at a catchweight. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's just not practical. It's just not realistic. It's just silly. That's what it is. It's silly. It's not realistic. It's not feasible. It's not. It's just not. It's not a realistic fight. You know, I just feel like if we start putting all these demands on someone like Canelo, and all these other guys are able to get away with, you know, not fighting, I just don't think it's fair. I just don't think it's fair. I think it's come to a point where I think, you know, we need to ask some of the other guys to give us some big super fights to fight each other. Like, you know, your Charlo Andrade. Why aren't they fighting? You know, I feel like to put all the burden on Canelo and say, Canelo's doing this, Canelo's like... I just think it gets to a point where, you know, it becomes a bit ridiculous where you're asking somebody to fight a unified heavyweight champion when he's only really a... Even at 175, he's a small guy. You know, so I just think I think the weight difference is just too much. I think it's not realistic. It's a silly fight. And I think Eddie Reynoso wanted to put a stop to it. I think Eddie Reynoso just came out and said, you know what? Like, this is my fighter. I'm not allowing it. I'm not having it. Canelo's not fighting Usyk. Because, you know, Eddie Reynoso has... Look, although Canelo's probably the boss, Eddie Reynoso's worked with Canelo for a very long time. So he cares for Canelo. They've got a lot of money, those guys. Right? So it's not about a few quid, because Canelo can make a lot of money fighting whoever. You know, Eddie's also got to think about his health. He's got to think about all of these things, because Canelo's not had an easy career. He's had a very tough fights with Golovkin. Jacobs wasn't easy. Cotto wasn't an easy fight. And if he's going to fight at 175, those fights aren't going to be easy either. Right? So you don't want this guy to be going up and fighting guys, 50, 60 pounds heavier than him, bigger than him, stronger than him. You know, there's only so much one man can do. I think we need to stop taking our frustration on boxing in the sense that there's one guy that's fighting everybody, right? Fighting the other champions. And there's other guys that aren't fighting each other. And we're putting all the burden on him to carry the super fights because he's the name in the sport. But forgetting that there's other fighters as well that are not doing that, all waiting for him. Rather than waiting for him, they should be fighting each other. And that's where the sport is hurting. Not because of Canelo not fighting the guys we want to see. It's because those guys aren't fighting each other. And we're getting frustrated, so we're expecting everything from one man to fight everybody. It doesn't work like that. You know, Canelo and Usyk is not a realistic fight. I talked about it because it was a possibility from what people were saying. Well, it wasn't a possibility, but Usyk said he'd be open to a Canelo fight. So I spoke about it. But I even said it's not really a realistic fight. I said Canelo might be willing to do something like that at the end of his career to dare to be great when he's achieved everything he's wanted to. But as Eddie's come out and said, no, we're not fighting Usyk. Canelo's not going to fight Usyk. It's not realistic, which is totally understandable. But that doesn't mean that you make a video or you go on Facebook and start saying Canelo now doesn't want a real fight and he doesn't even want to fight Usyk. Come on. That's just stupid. That's just ridiculous. Like, Canelo's... he's 5'9", man. He's 5'9". He's small, man. He's small compared to Usyk. Way small. And then you're not even going up against the guy that's like... You're going up against a guy that's elite at the top. Like, he's elite, man. Like, even if Canelo and Usyk were the same size, that would be a tough fight with the kind of skill set that Usyk has got. That won't be an easy fight. That's not like a Billy Joe, is it? Or that's not like a Caleb Plant. This guy's a two-time Olympic gold medalist. A unified cruiserweight. Like, you know, this guy's a monster. You know, even if, like I said, they were the same size, it would be a tough fight. And you're asking him, a guy that's way bigger than him. Way bigger than him. Like, Usyk's an elite fighter. He's an elite fighter, an unbelievable fighter. So to ask Canelo to... Nah, man, that's just... I just don't... You see, I just don't think that's realistic. I think we as fans shouldn't want that because you know, it's just not fair. As Salman pointed out, Salman made a great point. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's unfair. We need to move on, and the fight that needs to happen is Canelo Beterbiev. That's the biggest fight. That's a realistic fight. You see, if Canelo doesn't fight Beterbiev, for me, that would be an issue because I think Canelo can beat Beterbiev. I don't think Canelo can beat Usyk. That's the big issue. That's why I don't want to see that fight because I don't think he can. I don't think Canelo can. When I break it down, I don't think he can beat Usyk. I think he can beat Beterbiev. And that's why I want to see that fight. Yeah, it's a dangerous fight, but World Championships boxing is meant to be dangerous. You know? But I don't think him going up and fighting Usyk is a realistic fight because Usyk's just too big and he's a very skilled fighter. You know, Beterbiev's not as big, you know, and he's not a tricky type of southpaw fighter like Usyk. Usyk's a different, you know, Beterbiev's more kind of, Canelo likes that kind of style. It's just whether Canelo can keep someone like Beterbiev off because Beterbiev is so big, so strong, you know, even that might end up being a step bridge too far. But that's a more realistic fight. The Usyk fight is just a fight that he has a horrible style for Canelo. and he's very elite at what he's just an elite fighter that's just way bigger. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why the trainers come out and said, no, it's not happening. The Beterbiev fight is the one that I want. You guys know which fight I want. And that's the Beterbiev fight. But leave your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments, smash the like button as always. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.